The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Story Time with Grammy Blue. I am so happy that you are spending some time with me. I really wish that I could see you. I'm going to figure that out. Sooner or later, we're going to get together. Okay, let's get started. I have a book for you this evening, and it is a folklore. And a folklore is the traditional beliefs, customs of a community that is passed down through generations by word of mouth. It can be stories that are just told to families or sang. And this one has been written, so I am going to read it to you. And Grammy Blue cannot answer your questions, so you might want to have mom or dad or someone that you love and trust to answer the questions for you while I read. So here we go. The title of this book is The People Could Fly. It was written by Virginia Hamilton and it was illustrated by Leo and Diane Dillon. Now, this is a special book because it received a special honor from Coretta Scott King. It's an award-winning book. The People Could Fly. Okay, here we go. They say the people could fly. Say that long ago in Africa, some of the people knew magic. And they would walk up on the air like climbing up on a gate. And they flew like blackbirds over the fields, black shiny wings flapping against the blue, way up there. Then many of the people were captured for slavery. The ones that could fly, they shed their wings. They couldn't take their wings across the water on the slave ships. Too crowded, don't you know? See? See they are in chains? They hardly had any room to move. The folks were full of misery then, got sick with the up and down movement of the sea. So they forgot about flying when they could no longer breathe the sweet scent of Africa. Say the people who could fly kept their power. Although they shed their wings, they kept their secret magic in the land of slavery. They looked the same as the other people from Africa who had been coming over, who had dark skin. Say you couldn't tell anymore the ones who could fly from the ones who couldn't. And they were all in chains. They had no civil rights. They couldn't go unless they were told. One such who could was an old man. Call him Toby. And standing tall, yet afraid, was a young woman who once had wings. Call her Sarah. Now Sarah carried a babe tied to her back. She trembled to be so hard worked and scorned. The slaves labored in the fields from sun up to sundown. The owner of the slaves, calling himself master, say he was a hard lump of clay, a hard, glinty coal. a hard rock pile wouldn't be moved. His overseer on horseback, that's the overseer, pointed out the slaves who were slowing down. So the one called driver cracked his whip. There he is down there. He has a whip. He cracked his whip over the slow ones to make them move faster. That whip was a slice, open cut of pain. So they did move faster. They had to. Sarah hoed and chopped the row as the babe on her back slept. Say, the child grew hungry. That babe started up bawling too loud, and Sarah couldn't stop to feed him, couldn't stop to soothe and quiet him. She just let it cry. She didn't want to. She had no heart to croon to it. Keep that thing quiet, called the overseer. He pointed his finger at the babe. The woman scrunched down low. The driver cracked his whip across the babe anyhow. The babe hollered like any hurt child, and the woman fell to the earth. The old man that was there, Toby, came and helped her to her feet. I must go soon, she told him. Soon, he said. Sarah couldn't stand up straight any longer. She was too weak. The sun burned her face. The babe cried and cried. Pity me, oh, pity me, say it sounded like. And Sarah was so sad. She was starving. She sat down in the row. Get up, you black cow, called the overseer. He pointed his hand, and the driver's whip snarled around Sarah's legs. Her sack dress tore into rags. Her legs bled onto the earth, and she couldn't get up. Toby was there, where there was no one to help her, no one to help her and the babe. Now, before it's too late, panicked Sarah. Now, Father. Yes, daughter, the time is come. Toby answered. He said, go, go, go as you know how to go, go. He raised up his arms, holding them out to her, and he whispered the magic words. Said so quickly, they sounded like whispers and sighs. The young woman lifted one foot up on the air, then the other. She flew clumsily at first, with the child now held tightly in her arms. Then she felt the magic, the African mystery. Say she rose just as free as a bird, as light as a feather. The overseer rode after her hollering, and Sarah flew. Oh, look, she's so happy. Look at the baby is smiling. She flew over the woods. She flew over the fences. Tall trees could not snag her, nor could the overseer. She flew like an eagle now until she was gone from sight. No one dared speak about it, couldn't believe it, but it was. It was because they that was there saw that it was. Say the next day was dead hot in them fields. A young man's slave fell down from the heat. The driver came and whipped him, and Toby came over and spoke words to the fallen one, the words of ancient Africa, once heard are never remembered completely. The young man forgot them as soon as he heard them. They went way inside him. He got up, rolled over on the air. He rode it a while, and then he flew away. Look at him, he's so happy. Seize the old man, cried the overseer. I heard him say the magic word, seize him. The one calling himself master come running. The driver got his whip ready to curl it around old Toby and tie him up. The slave owner took his hip gun from its place. He meant to kill old black Toby. See, he had a gun. And see, he had the whip. He was going to tie him up. But Toby just laughed. Say he threw back his head and said, don't you know who I am? Don't you know some of us in this field? He said it to their faces. We are the ones who can fly. And he sighed the ancient words that were a dark promise. He said them all around to the others in the field. All the others in the field under the whip. There was a great outcrying. The bent back straightened up, old and young, who were called slaves and could fly, joined hands. Say they would ring sing, but they didn't shuffle in a circle. They didn't sing. They rose on the air. There they go. They flew in a flock that was black against the heavenly blue. Black crows are black shadows. It didn't matter. They went so high, say they flew away to freedom. And the old man, Toby, he flew behind them. He flew behind them, taking care of them. He wasn't crying and he wasn't laughing. He was the seer. His gaze fell on the plantation where the slaves who could not fly waited. Take us with you. Their looks spoke. Their looks spoke it, but they were afraid to shout it. Toby couldn't take them with him. Hadn't the time to teach them to fly. They must wait. They must wait for a chance to run. Goodbye, the old man Toby spoke to them. Poor souls. And he was flying gone. So they say. The overseer told it, the one called master. He said it was a lie, a trick of the light. And the driver, he kept his mouth shut. The slaves who could not fly told about the people who could fly to their children. When they were free, when they sat close before the fire, in the free land, they told it. They say that their children of the ones who could not fly told their children. And now, me, I have told you. The people could fly. Wow. Oh my goodness. What do you think this story was about? What was your favorite part? Well, my favorite part was when they all flew out of the cotton fields to freedom. And the ones that couldn't fly ran to freedom. And boys and girls, that is why we celebrate Juneteenth. June 19th is a federal holiday that celebrates the freedom of all the slaves in the United States of America. The people could fly. Thank you, boys and girls, for spending time with Grammy Blue. That's a lot to think about and a lot to talk about. So I'm going to spend some more time with this book. And until we meet again, remember, you are a winner. And Grammy Blue loves you. Have a good evening.